Beginning in October 2017, I started to feel tingling in my stomach. At first, I thought it would only last a short time, so I tried treating myself with antacids. But my symptoms quickly got worse. I felt sick, lost my appetite, and became weaker. After not eating right for almost a week, it got hard for me to breathe. My husband rushed me to the emergency room because he knew how bad it was. I had to go to the hospital because I couldn't breathe. I was scared to the point where I couldn't walk. I was taken to the emergency room right away by a nurse who quickly got me a wheelchair. The air in my chest felt heavy, and I tried to breathe deeply but didn't feel like I was getting enough. The doctors figured out what was wrong with me, gave me air, and ran some tests. My heart was beating really fast, and I felt really weak. Things began to get fuzzy. I thought someone was pulling me away from my body. In a peaceful, unknown place, the dark sky turned into a softly lit haven where I could float. My worries went away, and I was led by an unknown force. All of a sudden, I was in a room with stone walls that felt old, like the hall of a medieval castle. 3 white plates and 2 big bowls full of bright, strange plants that smelled good were set out on a long wooden table. The interesting designs on the leaves made the atmosphere seem strange. I didn't know where I was or what was going on around me. When I was alone in the room, I was shocked when a man, who I later learned was Jesus, walked in. He gave off a peaceful vibe while wearing a white robe and holding a golden cross. His long, flowing hair and well-groomed beard showed that he was determined, and his kind, deep eyes seemed to see right through me. Jesus smiled like a father, bringing peace and calm that had never been felt before. I asked if I was still alive because I was confused and thought maybe I was already dead. Jesus told me that my body fought off sickness and emphasized that my soul was the only thing that lived in heaven. When he asked me to sit down, he patted my hand and made me feel safe and warm. His look of care and love took away my pain and fears. Jesus talked about a gift. Suddenly, a door nearby opened, and my dead father came out. Seeing my dad in a simple white robe, looking young and warm, made me miss being a kid again. His hug showed love and reassured me that he was watching over me. Jesus smiled and said, "Try the heavenly food." He put a unique plant on the plate and poured clear water into a glass. It made me feel very good because of its dark green leaves, fresh smell, and clear, sweet taste. While enjoying delicious foods, my dad and I talked about our youth. A treasured memory of fishing trips unfolded. A beach, an interested 6-year-old me, and a run-in with a crab. There were tears, but my dad was quick on his feet and used fishing gear scissors to free my hand. The times we spent together made our relationship stronger, making a warm link in the peaceful atmosphere of heaven. I was scared, but my dad comforted me and quickly freed me from the crab's claws. Now that I think about it, it seems funny. Then my dad suggested I go see his current house, which took me to a beautiful yard full of flowers and trees that made me forget about my problems. We then went to a beautiful castle that was built with expensive materials and cutting-edge technology. It was awe-inspiring to see. My dad's room was warm and inviting, with favorite paintings, photos, and objects that had special meaning to him. The warm wooden furniture and atmosphere showed how much he loved the place. From the balcony, angels in the garden made the mood joyful and happy, and the beauty of heaven surprised me. Dad told me that this place has no pain or fear, just love and peace, and everyone is happy. While I was sitting with my dad, he told me that even though he was leaving Earth, he would still be with me in some other way. His words of comfort reassured me that he would always be with me when I felt alone. We didn't have much time left together, so I gave him a tight hug and promised to remember his love and lessons. When I woke up, my mind was still fuzzy, and the strange masks and needles were hurting me. My family told me that my kidneys and lungs were almost failing, which made it even more important for me to get to the hospital right away. I told my husband about a deep experience because I was thankful for making it through a hard time. It was disappointing that he said it wasn't a mental health problem. Even though people were skeptical, things turned out well in my life. There was no longer any anxiety. There was peace inside. Interestingly, I no longer wanted to smoke at all. Now that I'm enjoying every moment of my life, I go to church every week, eager to learn more about Christianity. I tell my story to give comfort and hope to people who are hurting because I believe that is God's plan. This one-of-a-kind event strengthened my faith and made me stronger, more mature, and more determined to share God's love with others.